TSM in a tournament on this map, they are primed to do it again. A lot of people are saying this is still a defensive map. We'll find out, though, if TSM feels this one is all in favor of the attackers. They've got their work cut out for them again.
5-7, pretty good. Yeah, let's see how this begins. I mean, you know, the pistol can bring it all the way through, so it doesn't matter too much scoreline-wise, obviously, unless TSM pick it up, and then it gets a little scary because you get towards double digits, right? That's and even just mentally, because MR12 is, you know, MR15 is one thing, MR12 is very punishing off the back of a pistol. We'll see what they come up with, because again, I want to see TSM being creative. I like the way Envy are approaching a couple of unique takes. This looks like a maybe reactive play. Caboose could be in for a lot of trouble. Oh, that flash is so good. Caboose gets one, but the trade comes out. Bucket.
Drone is clean for two. Down goes mummAy, and of course, here comes the rest of the flood. hazed is going to drop finesse. So defenders, they've got more players left, but they are not going to be there to stop this spike. And we're going to see, excuse me, we got to swap that scoreboard at the top. I got confused for a second. aKis making his way in with just his brimstone. We'll see what Calypso can do on the pinch. Paranoias have been key. aKis taking his time in the smoke, waiting for his teammate. Here they come, and aKis goes down. Now it's Calypso's turn. Big round here from TSM, and it all started. Drone, after getting flashed, was able to trade out not just one, but two, and then they all flooded after hazed found that third.
Yeah, I mean, that second kill that came in was just paramount, right? The first one, I was like, oh, okay, that's not bad. A 1-for-1 trade out, but be able to capitalize and bring it into a third, beautiful, beautifully done. And now, of course, the economy gonna swing around and keep the newly appointed defensive side pretty humble on just the classics. And on the other side, we've got, you know, Marshalls, SMGs, nothing too crazy to write home about, but big stack from the defensive side over towards the B site, 4 players to the 1 towards A, and it's not a bad read right now.
And credit to TSM, because I believe Envy was sitting above 90% win rate in pistol rounds after their first round of this game. TSM takes one of their own. Now, like you mentioned, opportunity to tie it up at 7 apiece before the big gun round 3. And they're just letting them onto the site. So many defenders stacked up here. And the attackers haven't seen anything. Now they've got a little info. At least they know where mummAy's at on that Sova.
I wonder if they still commit to this. They're being pretty hesitant about it, and you might have to just feed the beast. Send one in. Uh-oh. Subroza's found 2. There we go. Nice and easy. They're going to check on this. There shouldn't be any bother. Shouldn't.
Kaboose goes down. It's just finesse and not for long. Good stuff here from TSM. Taking their time. Easing in. Only dropped 1 player. And we'll see. Do the operators come out?
No more charges left.
No. At least for
there it is. Wardell's got it. Yep.
the defensive side. Wardell gonna opt for it. Not a bad purchase either. I mean, they've got plenty of money to play with. This round's always gonna be tricky anyway, just because the economy, the way it pans out. 7-7 though is pretty close. I'm just trying to take a second to kind of get to grips with how TSM want to attack this and what their looks are going to be like. Because I've seen them just run over teams, but I want to see what happens when they have to really work for it.
Calypso going to be playing with Caboose. They have been the star duo on this map for Envy so far in the tournament. Just looking at their ACS. And they should find some action. A little peekage coming in from Subroza as he wants to lead this charge potentially. Also, keep your eyes on Drone. The Phoenix and his flashes working his way through the middle of the map. Out comes the Owl drone from Wardell. Remember, he has the operator. So once his teammates push in, we'll be able to punish Heaven, and aKis is waiting for it. Meanwhile, smokes are holding for now. Subroza ready to jump.
There's no fake plays here. There's no fallback. I'm a bit worried for the attackers. If they just go in on this, they've not drawn any rotations. They could come up against 4 players, which is not the idea of this. But Subroza's success might encourage the play. And, well, you're going to see that there's another player on short. Now, let's see what the attackers do. They're being held up by main. We have aKis on the site. Good for one. Doesn't get a second yet, but he's going to spot out the players. The rotation's coming in, but it's too little too late as Wardell going to be chiming in with so much pressure. And hazed going to be the icing on the cake. it was pretty brute force, but I mean, they keep the players alive and they get the plant.
And I think we're just going to see a save coming in. Mr. Finesse with the Phantom hiding in a corner. Solid stuff on A. I was with you, Horan. I was nervous. It's like they've already run 45 seconds off the clock and they haven't done anything. Once they push in off of that pick from Subroza, everything went their way. Only dropping one player as Cutler will have his teammates with plenty of money to support him in this next round. Good stuff from TSM. That's 3 in a row, but it's round 4 that we have seen trouble. Will Envy be able to clutch up on another eco? Keep your eyes on Kaboose, the Phoenix, who has been the star.
Again, that was a very loud hit. You know, normally when you hit a site, you don't want to be coming up against 4 players, but they did so well at doing that. Even still, I guess with Subroza's ability to do so much damage, even just like a couple of picks, that presence that he had was more than enough to tilt the scales in his favor. But now look what that's done to the money here. That's put it back on that like 2.9 under 3k position. That's always an awkward buy. You can fashion something, but it won't be ideal in every manner. So I think we might be seeing sheriffs and such and so on. Maybe try and be proactive on this defensive side, because right now TSM's kind of showing them how it's done.
But that's going to be the key player on that Phantom. Only 4 kills to his name up to this point, and he is going to be the one aggressive at B. Finds the pick he was looking for. Now, no Sage on the lineup, so he's stuck with that 10 HP. I wonder if he's going to toss off the gun. And that may be the case over to mummAy, who is on the Sova. Meanwhile, you can see the attackers making their way from A after tons of noise and several smokes. They're going to be flying over to B main, trying to follow up on the pressure from Subroza. Camera's going to spot at least 1 foot. And Finesse is about to call it. Here they come, boys. Rotation is already in. aKis could be huge here with the paranoia. You got the push from the door as well. An early trade for Finesse, but remember, they are outgunned, and these Phantoms are tearing through the defense.
The frustrating part is technically they're, not being subtle on these hits. They're being very obvious, but they're just winning these fights. aKis knows. I'm pretty sure he's well aware where hazed is, but now it doesn't matter. Hazed outdoes him with the gun. And now left in, what, a 3v1? All right, Calypso. Let's see what you got. So you can get that gun away. Nah, Wardell doesn't want to give it up. We're getting close towards those double digits now. And very favorable towards TSM. It looks a little bit flat from Envy here. As I said, the hard part is they are technically reading the game quite well, but by sheer brute force and just really good effective trading towards the sites, it's still working out very favorably towards TSM. They haven't been subtle in any of these site hits. The rotations have been very quick from Envy. Again, it's like all the ticks in the right boxes, but TSM just, pound for pound outdoing them at the moment.
Now, I tried to look up some of the stats to see how the game went last time, because it was 13-5 in favor of this Envy squad when they were known as Together We Are Terrific against TSM in the T1 Nerd Street Gamer Showdown. And I wanted to see, did they just win every pistol round? How did the economy go? It doesn't matter, as Wardell is going to get things started on Kaboose. Very aggressive defensive play, and Kaboose gets more info than he wanted.
Let's go try and play that edge of smoke. Oh, Subroza's so good. He still checks. I mean, that's the thing. I love watching Subroza play. He's just a smart player, man. He's just got some damn good intuition. Still checking the corners, even after his buddy walks past. No worries. And again, these very uncomfortable positions that TSM have got themselves into. You've got Subroza pushed up so you can hear all those rotations. He can be a pain in the back, literally. Calypso could do some damage here, though. That's the good one. Carla's gone down. Does he get away? Barely.
Smoke's down.
And Calypso's going to come back for some more, peeking out of the smoke. He's going to catch him. I thought he had 2. Only gets 1, but buys time. mummAy is going to find Subroza in transition. He was still holding in that mid. And now you're going to see the Omen that's hazed with the bomb. Just gets out of dodge, goes all the way over to B. He's going to get the quick plant. Wardell is on the rotation over to support. And it's a 2-on-2 where I'd have to say attackers have the advantage. They have no idea where Wardell is. Now they do, and we'll find out. Will he be able to do much from this position? This could be tough for hazed.
See if mummAy can get the pace going. I think he wants to try and beat the pace to try and get ahead of Wardell being relevant to this round, but he can't do it. He has to wait for support, and he's got the operator trying to play retake on. It's always going to be tricky. hazed just has to buy time. He has to pick which side, and he looks the wrong way, so aKis is there, but now Wardell. Can he clutch it out? It's a good plant for him if he's been called elsewhere. He's going to wallbang for it. Oh dear. Does he get the wallbang though? He sat it. No. Wardell tried it, but didn't happen.
I was nervous as soon as I saw that drone come out. I was like, he's not going to be there in time. Nice job, though, by mummAy pushing in. And even though they got the first pick, is defense holding strong. A much-needed round for Envy. They got some ults out. They took a sniper rifle away for a moment, but Wardell, sitting on 7,900 credits, is going to be feeling clean. And here we go. Can they even it up, Lauren? This is where Envy comes back to life. I feel it. Defenders. Split 2 and 3.
Yeah, zero mid presence. Zero mid presence from the defensive side. It's an interesting take. It's not uncommon. It's just we haven't seen it played that way in this game, which is quite fun. Deeper smoke's going to come in, allow more room to be garnered by the attacking side here, Bucket.
They could be playing around the paranoia, just judging by the positioning here from hazed. Wardell with that operator is going to be easing his way into B main behind Cutler. Hey man, excuse me. Meanwhile, I thought Subroza was going to be spotted by mummAy. He pulls out just before crossing the door, and they have all 5 stacked up on A. TSM, they rarely faint unless they have that Omen ultimate, so expect an all-in right here.
Much utility is left on the defensive side. Kaboose has a little bit to play with, but not a great deal. Bit of a crossfire with Calypso as well, so maybe they'll be okay. Subroza looks like he's about to put his utility down, so we can expect the site hit to come in soon. 3-2 split. Oh, on the site. Here we go.
Kaboose is going to have his hands full, but Calypso gets the first 2. Kaboose gets out alive, and there's a nice flash. That's going to hit hazed. Hazed goes down, and Cutler falls to the flames. So they stall out again to about 44 seconds before they try and push in, and it was all stopped by the Brimstone and the Phoenix. Wardell's going to try and keep his gun, and he will after that pick on Finesse. But a tough round for TSM as Envy climbs right back into this one at 9-9, keeping 3 players alive.
Great counter utility being used to buy time, isolate players. Again, these kind of all-in hits, they work well sometimes. You know what I mean? It feels like that 50-50. If you can draw utility out at the start while holding a default, great. If you can't, you're going to end up having Finesse on a quick flank. Yeah, he died to Wardell at the end, but still, it's a nice idea, these all-in hits, but there's a reason that you can't run them over and over again. And I think that's a factor here. It looks like a double stack from the defensive side towards short. Are they going to go aggressive? I don't think so. Maybe just a similar position as before. And I wonder if we see, again, a very heavy lean towards one site rather than a default to begin with. Maybe just not feeling like they have to. 4 players currently heading towards B Bucket.
Can I show some love to hazed as well? Not only did it get an ace to clutch up in their first map, the man's sitting on 18 kills right now. Every match we've ever watched, it's been Subroza, Wardell, drone at the top of the leaderboard. We rarely talk about Cutler and hazed, but it's the old duo from CLG days putting in work today.
Joke's over. You're dead.
And hazed again in the middle is going to be set up with that paranoia, trying to set up Subroza for the pick. aKis in the corner. And that is a big paranoia on the opposite end. He's going to get 2 players with it and buy enough time to get out. But they've got the info. Everyone is stacked up mid. Here comes the defensive rotation.
Oh, Finesse could be in so much trouble if they have any utility left, and here comes the flash drone, could be the one to really make it tricky, but they've fallen away. So they've drawn so much utility out of the defensive team, which I love. This is what was missing maybe in that last round. By the time they were hitting the sites, they had everything still against them. Now they've drawn a little bit away. If they hit the site, they're going to be in a far greater position now.
2 tripwires to power through, and Subroza is going to find the first one, trying to enter here. It's going to be drone with Finesse down. 4 defenders left. mummAy with the operator on site, but it's not great at short range, and he is going to miss wide right. Cutler and Subroza, as well as Wardell, all finding their picks, and Wardell's going to find the 5th on Calypso in the back. 10-9. This one going down to the wire, just like game number 1. If you're just joining us, this is match 1 of the quarterfinals. First map went to overtime after a 9-3 lead for Envy. It was TSM clutching up and clawing their way back to the victory. Now here on Ascent, it's TSM's pick. A very even first half, and the second half, just the same.
Honestly, I think that round, the big highlight was that mid-pressure they used to try and draw out their utility from the B players before they hit the site. Beautifully done. Very well thought through from TSM. And let's kind of watch this back. It looks like it's probably be an aKis considering where the two players are over towards A long. And again, they might just run the same sort of idea. Pressure towards middle, get a little bit of presence towards short, try and get some of that utility away. Or what is Sova and Cypher doing over by A long? We'll see. This time, mummAy's up for the fight. Just dry peeks in towards hazed. It does allow the trade to come out, but they lose out on the player on the defensive side. 4v4 on defense is horrible.
I thought he had the collat. I thought that was a 2-for-1. That was a great job, mummAy. Instead, as you mentioned, this is tough for the defense. Sniper rifle down. Tight corners being held. And the attackers are spread out. You have no idea where this spike is going to be coming from. Subroza's trying to get some information, just hanging out by the market. Meanwhile, the other three starting to make their way towards A. That smoke is going to stall it out, and that camera is going to be calling out the location of Wardell. Information gathered by...
Oh, Subroza trying to fake it out. I like this. And it's going to keep your eye on the brimstone. See how much they rotate away. It's harder to dedicate that third player. So they can keep two here. aKis is in a nice spot. If kaboose's crossfire stays, that's been dismantled. That one wall goes in.
Oh,
they don't
no.
check on it. Oh, dear. It's fallen apart.
They're taking turns, not checking corners. And you're done. aKis wanted to use his abilities. Instead, an aggressive sniper rifle finds him hiding in the corner. Finesse is going to clean up Subroza zone. So this is still two defenders versus Wardell. Big pick in the middle of the map from defense.
If anyone can do it, it would be Wardell. It's not the gun he's known for, but the man is good. Two isolated players. He's going to try and deny the crossfire if they're going to come back in or the trade. And there he goes. Did have a valiant attempt at it. I like the idea. But in the end, the defuse comes in, and we will see Envy stay alive another round. This is a very close game, 10-10. I think this is just a display of how evenly matched these two teams are.
Big play by aKis. They don't check the corner fully. He instantly punishes, gives his teammates time to rotate. And defense holds strong again. I'm looking at the money here. What can Kaboose do? He's been so good with the Sheriff, but only 3,000 credits. Does he go for the long play? He's buying up for the Spectre. They're going for the win all in.
Well, it comes down to mummAy's pick to me if he goes for it. Wardell's going to sit in the fire for a second, take a bit of damage, and then fall away. See if he can maybe get the timing right on that pick. But the defensive side are fighting for A-long control this time. So the response from the attackers, hey, let's look towards mid. Let's try and do what we did before to them. Split them in half, split them in two. They don't actively play middle. It's going to cause them rotations and put them out of place, which is exactly what's happening with that Omen here. So this is a nice idea from the attacking team, but where do they end up?
Drone's going to try and work his magic over at B. After dodging the drone, the owl drone, I should say, from mummAy, I expect him to feel a little confident here. So Rose is going to call in the smokes, and here comes the hit. First, Wardell pulling out a drone of his own. It's spotted. mummAy in the back with the operator, the player to look out for. Defense slowly working their way through the middle can cause problems. It was aKis on the Omen, and he's going to find Wardell. mummAy is going to stop Subroza at the front. So nice pinch coming in.
Yeah, Finesse and aKis. I've got to say, aKis to me in the last couple of rounds has been dirty. That cheeky little corner he sat in, didn't get checked on, and got away with murder. Cutler's so far away, he's not going to do anything here. You might as well just save it. What's his money, like 3.2? I guess you could drop out a teammate if you need to. I actually don't know what the money's like at the moment, but again, it's that readjustment, that repositioning. aKis has been he just feels like he's everywhere, right? Like last round, he was posted up on the A side waiting for that push, and then the switch up this time towards B, very well handled.
As you take a look at the money, yeah, Cutler, poor. Gotta keep this weaponry. Teammates should be able to buy. Wardell has enough for his operator again. And as we take a look at the ultimates, both Sova ults, we could see another laser light show coming up. As it's now Envy sitting on top. They've retaken the lead, 11-10.
Now look how these rounds have gone recently. Let's look at the start. Of course, it was that kind of streak coming out from TSM. 4 in a row, you had that little kind of chime back in. But these last couple have been almost strung together from Envy. So let's not overlook how much damage Envy have done in the last 5 rounds. They won 4, of course. So this is a pretty good streak. They felt like worked it out. I want to see a switch up now from TSM. They're getting close, but it's not been close enough. And maybe some defensive-sided aggression feels like the answer to them. However, these flashes... they're going to keep them a little humble on this, but they get the information regardless. And look at the presence in middle from the defensive team. A bit of a switch up here, too.
Vanessa's ready for it, but Hayes is there on the trade. And now we've got a 4-4. Spike in the middle of the map was spotted. But plenty of time to work around. Minute 19 still to go here for TSM. I'm keeping my eyes right now. What is the plan? I wanted to see, will Drone be leading this charge once again? He already used one of his curveballs over at B main to start the round. He's got one left.
Nice late game utility, keeping short, being a nuisance. It's buying time, which is basically what the name of the game is. And now with the push out, I don't like that Sova's still at B for the defensive team. I'd like that rotation to come in, but here we go. It's going to be the push coming out. Here comes all that utility. Drone's going to try and isolate players. I quite like that. Cuts off too. It opens up a huge avenue towards the site itself.
Flame Wall is going to stall out too. Spike still hasn't moved in. And remember, mummAy still with the operator is going to be pinching from heaven. And first, it's the ultimate. Spike spotted. Spike eliminated. Did not. Oh, yes, it did get planted. Okay, so just in time before that shot landed, and now they've got everyone injured on both sides of the map.
3v5 post plant though, so excuse me, 3v4 post plant. It's still pretty hard to hold. Let's see what these post plant positions are. I like that you do at least, I think that's Drone saying towards Dark, so you're still okay in that regard. Drone can try and play off the back, but he has to be instrumental in this to keep it together, and he's going to do just that. Huge moment from Drone just to keep things ticking in their favor, and this is going to be time to save for mummAy. Get out of there, keep that up towards next time, and that crossfire in the post plant just won them the round.
This sneaky little man walking his way out of there wants to keep this sniper rifle. 11-11. First map goes to OT. We're going to see a second one. I feel it in my bones right now. TSM continuing to clutch up in the final seconds. Cutler getting one. Drone, though, the key. He set it up when pinching in through short A. Gets behind him and causes problems. Wardell up to 20, hazed at 19 after having 18, I believe, like 5 rounds ago. He's really slowed down, but Drone's starting to step up his game. On the other side, you mentioned it, aKis on the Omen, doing work.
We seeing defensive sided aggression again?
I'm
waiting to see. This is going to be, because you've got those 2 players stacked up by B, which could be it. I mean, you've got the Flash and then mummAy on the op, so you could definitely get some presence towards, you know, B halls, which is exactly what they've done. But this time it's more of a default coming out from the attacking side, so spreading somewhat across the map, maybe leaving middle a little bit open, but that's fine. You can late play that because you have someone like Omen there. So again, it's going to be a bit of a misplay, whichever way you want to look at it. This will definitely keep players dedicated towards B longer than maybe they'd like, but let's see what the attacking side does with the information they're garnering too.
mummAy's peeking around the corner. Will he see anything? Drone playing it safe, and of course there's the tripwire in case someone wants to surge forward. And here comes a walking Wardell with a peek of his own, and that's a dry peek that's punished. Nice pick by the Sova.
Capes can be dangerous. They give away the game. Oh, kaboose. A little sloppy there. Re-peeking on that one. Just kind of... I don't... The theory's not bad. The execution was poor. Unfortunate. That could have been a nice player advantage to play with going forward. And look at the ultimates now building up on the TSM side of things. They could definitely utilize some of this just to get in if they want to brute force it. Maybe Subroza feeling it once he's, you know, done with these smokes. But there's still 2 players dedicated towards B. Here come those smokes from the attacking side. Flash now ready. It's going to be go time.
And it's going to be Drone in first. mummAy has been clean. Both shots landing. 2 attackers down, and Cutler is going to find an op shot of his own. Hayes is finally going to cut down mummAy, so Sova out of the action. aKis is still here, though, with the Phantom peeking from spawn, and Calypso is going to move up on that one. Cutler, though, still finding shots, is going to connect on a second one.
Oh, this 1v2. There's one on the side. He expects the re-peek. It's so well done by aKis, but the shots just aren't there. And Cutler, okay, not known for the AWPing, but here he is.
He's like, well, we had to save the gun for Wardell, so I guess I'll just put it to use real quick. I mean, this was scary. If Caboose doesn't go with that earlier peek, I feel like it's definitely in favor of the defenders. They got the first blood. They were sitting pretty. Few small steps in the wrong direction. Going to give this one to TSM at 12-11. They are on match point. Looking at the defender's cash, Calypso poured down to a Spectre. Same thing with aKis. You do have mummAy with an operator over at the B site. Everything else, a fair fight. And they've actually given up B early on here, Lauren.
They have. huge focus towards middle on the defensive side. You got 2 players pushed up on short, and you've got the swing off the back of Cypher. mummAy kind of trying to play almost a pivot role too. He could easily transition towards middle, but right now you're going to see mummAy take the time. I think they were just looking to see if that camera was there that's tucked up right above the archway. mummAy's a big piece to this, and so far he's probably going to be good for at least one. Oh, he shot a little early, just saw the gun barrel and tried to go for the first, but the second got him in the end. Subroza's there, and now the site is looking a little bit vulnerable. With Cutler's success too, this could be all wrapped up with a bow on it.
And they have so rarely pushed all the way down A. They never saw it coming in the mid. Cutler is able to do the damage, and once B is open up, this spike is going to be planted. And aKis, I mean, what can you do? 1v4, you are trapped from all directions, and Subroza is going to end it 13-11. Final score here as TSM continues to show that Ascent is one of the best maps in their playbook.